Welcome back to the Seagrove Sessions. It's episode 27, and we hear once again from Doris. After the Second World War, there was a big change in social housing in many cities. In Edinburgh, people were moved from older housing stock in the city to newly built housing schemes on the outskirts of Edinburgh. Doris and her family moved from Primrose Street in Leith to Craigour. She tells us what it was like to move from Old Leith to, as she calls it, the countryside. Great memories and a bit of recent social history. Enjoy. But you played on the streets a lot anyway, didn't you?
Aye, because there wasn't any traffic.
No.
I mean, it was unusual to see a motor car. I mean, if you, here's a motor car, there's a motor car coming. And you'd run, Mum, there's a motor car coming down our street. Even the mothers and all that would come out. I wonder who can know is somebody that's got a motor car. You know, it was something unusual. But a lot of freedom then. A lot of freedom. And then we could play in the back greens as well. Unless there was washing out. And then you got a row if you were out when there was washing out and you were trying to play. You weren't supposed to do that then. Because they each had a turn of what day was their washing day. So your mother had to stick to her own day for getting her washing out to dry. Or whatever, 2 days you got, I can't mind what.
And did you always take a turn at cleaning the stair?
Oh aye, you had to take your turn, aye. Oh, they were looked down upon if they didn't take their turn at cleaning the stair. No, you done your own passage,
right,
and your own flight of stairs. Or if you were on the ground floor, you done like the passage to the front door, and then the passage and out to the back door, if you were on the ground floor. We were on the ground floor.
And were people always in and out of each other's houses?
You could go for your messages and leave your door just on the latch. My mum would say to me and I, now I'm meeting Auntie Margaret and we're going to go such and such. I'll try and be in before you come out to school, but if not, I'll just leave, she would leave something on a plate for us. I'll leave you an apple or something for when you come in. So if we hurried home for the school, say, oh, Mum's no in. And we'd go in and right enough there'd be a nice apple or something. And they were always even on ration.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, you could only get... and you couldn't have it because it'd go brown. So we used to look forward to I'll leave an apple each for you. Oh, brilliant, that was good. Things like that, you know. But everything meant more then. You know, I said, be thankful for what you get.
Yeah.
And you're lucky that you get as much as you do get. There are a lot of children far worse off than you. Yes, Dad. Okay, Dad.
So, what floor were you on? Well, your house?
I was on the ground floor.
Right, okay.
Mm.
And who were your neighbours, do you remember?
Auntie Margaret, who wasn't your real auntie, but it was Mr. and Mrs. McIntosh. Uncle Davy came from the north, so he spoke with a right north accent, you know. And he was really awfully good. My mother and Auntie Margaret always had a Monday night out. That was their night out. And Uncle Davy used to have us sitting, like here, and he would tell us stories. Oh, and he was really brilliant at storytelling.
Oh,
so we all liked when it was a Monday night, when Uncle Davy was telling us stories. And with his North of Scotland voice, you know, it made it all the better, aye.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed that when I was young, aye. We didn't really have any luxuries or anything. I mean, what my sister got, I usually got it after she got something new and I got that. But then when I grew that bit taller than her, it was great because I got new clothes to myself. Wonderful. I didn't have to wait on getting her gym. I got a new gym right away.
What was the setup of your house? How were the bedrooms and the living room?
Well, when there was me and I, we lived down in Old Primrose Street. And there was, you went in the entry. Now the entry didn't have doors on the front. It was just like the entry and you just went right in.
Mm.
We went in and we were on the right hand side and then a wee bit dipped in and Auntie Margaret, who was our neighbour, was on the left hand side and then down from her door there was a step and there was another door, but that was the back green door.
Oh, right.
That took us out into the back green to put the washing out and that. So when we went in, you opened the door and you were in the lobby, which now they call the hall, but to us it was the lobby. So in the lobby, my mother had a big mangle. So when she washed the clothes, she used to put them through the mangle. Well, now, I mean, they didn't have that because, I mean, you've got the iron things, or things are drip dry, things like that. But then she always put the things through the mangle. And
did you ever use the mangle?
well, it was quite hard to turn. It was a big handle to turn. But we used to have to take a shot right enough when we got that bit bigger. And then when I was 10, they said, now we're going somewhere nice today. We're going to take you to see a new house. Great excitement. So we went out to the country, which was only up the road really. But then it was still country. I mean, and here was this clump of houses that had been built, and it was called Craigour. There was only Craigour Avenue, Craigour Terrace, Craigour Drive, and I think that was about it. And then gradually it started increasing, and then it got bigger.
Wow.
And then it was amazing because eventually it spread out, and then Hivett's Bank further over sprung up, and all that countryside all turned into housing.
Yeah, of course it did.
Aye.
But you were there at the beginning.
Oh, it was lovely when we first went out there. We used to come at the house and go down, and there was a burn. Now, don't play on the burn. No, okay, Mum. Come here with your feet soaking wet and everything. No, we weren't playing on the burn. Aye, it looks like it, aye. We'd play on the burn and everything down there. We'd come back up, we could cut over the field, which we got a row for doing, because that was the farmer's field. And if he was there, he would shout at us for cutting over. But when you cut over, that was the main road. And then you could go on the main road, and if you walked away up and along this, what we called the No Road, it took us to Dander Hall.
Oh, right.
Well, they started building the houses up there as well, like a good while after we were there. But we used to go away wandering up there. And
as you say, that was from being in Leith. This was the countryside.
oh, it was the country. Oh, it was definitely the countryside then.
And what was there shops out there then?
Eventually, it was a while before there was any shops. It had to depend on vans coming round. You would get the fruit van, and my sister, she was there. They would always come out and they'd shout, kind of like my mother would say, I'll go and get some tatties. I'll get some tatties and I'll get whatever else you could afford. And as soon as we stepped out, the guy would say, I'm sorry, May, I've not got any cherries. Because my sister would always say, have you got any cherries? She loved cherries. The middle of winter. Have you got any cherries?
Oh, no chance.
No, I didn't get cherries till the sun shines. But she kept asking. I can still see her and saying that. Have you got any cherries? Well,
so where did you go to school? Because there wouldn't have been a school out there.
oh no, there wasn't any schools. We used to go up to the bus stop. The SMT bus would come down. That would bring us into the town. Then from there I got a bus down to Lochend Road School.
So you were still going all that way to school?
I came round down to Lochend Road Primary School.
And that was on your own, of course. There was no, just you and your sister.
Aye, my sister and I. Then May went to Norton Park. So I got to go to Norton Park because May was there. But when it was time for me to get an interview, they said, well, you live out within the district, so you'll have to go to the one over in Craigmillar, because they ran a bus over to take children over to school in Craigmillar.
Oh, right.
My mother said, no, she'll continue at Lochend Road School, and I don't mind paying her bus fares and that. She'll go there until she's due to go beside her sister. So I went to Norton Park with my sister. Right. And that's where I finished my schooling.
So you must have been one of the furthest away pupils for the school.
Oh, aye. There was odd times when there was the weather was that bad and we got held up and things like that. And you'd end up really walking. We used to walk quite far if the bus couldn't get any further. I mean, we would just go off and start walking. And then walk all the way back down the town till we got to the school. Aye, I mean, people were going to their work, so we just had to do that then.
Your neighbours in Craigour, who were they? Do you remember who you know?
Aye, in Craigour. We lived in 37 Craigour Terrace. Now, next to us there was Mrs. Crone. There were two together.
All right.
Semi-detached. So Mrs. Crone was next door to us, and she had Muriel, the oldest girl. She had two girls and a boy. And then across the road from us there was a fat wifey. She was right nosy. She was always out. She had a long path. She used to come out her door and come down her long path. She was like that in the street all the time. And she said, I saw a car, there was a car in the street today. You know, that was something unusual if a car came down the street. She was always ready to tell the neighbours who the car was visiting. I don't know if it looked like a doctor or no, but it was a man that went into their house, came maybe away down the bottom of the street, and she would be watching. But that's what it was like. They all seemed to know each other. And my mum was friendly with the neighbour that was just up the road. There was a wee cul-de-sac, and Mrs. McAnally was the first one round the cul-de-sac. So my mum and her were really quite friendly. And then we could go to our back garden, up to the top of it, and there was a big pile-in.
Oh, right.
So we went up to the top of the back garden, and then that was Mrs. McAnally's garden, came along that way, and we could just go like that and along to Mrs. McAnally and in our back door. So it was quite handy.
And were there many children then?
Oh, aye. You had to have children to get these houses.
Right.
So there was me and I, and Charlie, and then eventually George. And then when we moved up there, well, I got friendly with Teresa, and she had an older sister, Joan, who was ages with my sister, and they had a boy called Jackie. So we were all quite friendly. I don't know where they are now. I think Joan died right enough, if I mind. Right. But and Teresa, she married and went away abroad. And that was the end of that. You start off writing to each other, and then it gradually, when you were younger, it just gradually stopped. Like pen pals. Same with my chum Eleanor. She was my friend for a long time, and she married a German guy.
Yes, it's funny.
And she lives in Germany now, aye.
Do you have any other pals from back in the day?
Well, I still got a card and that, like, from Eleanor.
Oh, right.
Well, I did, up until last year.
Oh, right.
And then I got a really nice card, and it was from Stefan. And I went, oh, Stefan. Hi, Auntie Doris. You'll be wondering at me sending you the Christmas card, just to let you know that Mum passed away.
Oh.
And I thought, oh, she had passed away just 3 weeks or something beforehand.
Oh, gosh.
And of course I had sent all her Christmas stuff and that. And I thought, oh dear, just like the thing. So that was the end of that, aye. But her mum was a beautiful sewer.
Really?
Oh, a lovely sewer. And for the time we were friends when we were quite young, our mum used to always say to us, one of these days you'll get married. Maybe, one of these days. She said, see, when you get married, I'm going to make your wedding dress. I went, aye, okay then. And she did. She kept her word. And right up until, I know she was really a beautiful sewer. And then she said, and you are engaged? I went, aye. And she looked, she said, I meant what I said. I said, I was going to ask you, would you make my... She says, of course I'll make your wedding dress. I'd love to make your wedding dress.
Oh.
So she did. She made my wedding dress and had a big train.
Oh.
That was detachable. So as I could... And it was a lovely bow along there.
Yeah.
And I clipped off the bow and then clipped it off there at the back. And then that was my train out the road, and my dress was quite... And then I was able to dance. But, my nephew loved being my wee page boy with that big train. When we went up to the altar, we had to kneel down. So I'm kneeling down, and of course my train was all behind me. And the wee fella, my nephew, is like that, sorting my train so it's all nice and flat. Then he's looking up, it's okay, you can go to the side now, he goes. He goes back and has another wee thing at my train, and looked up and as if to say, I'm in charge of that. And then he went and sat down.
He took it
and
very seriously.
I'm looking round at him. I thought, good on you, a wee pal.
So you actually, when you started work, you travelled some distance again, didn't you?
Aye. I didn't find it any hardship though. Just something that we done for to get into your school, to get into work. Yeah. They built a school out there and that then, but that was too late for me to change schools, obviously. Yeah.
So it was a good move from old Primrose Street to Craigour.
Oh aye, it was like luxury.
Yeah.
Up and down stairs, mind you, you soon get fed up with that. Oh, I forgot, I'll need to go way up the stair again and get... But at first it was a right novelty, up and down stairs, and a bedroom for me and I, and bedroom for Mum and Dad, and one for the... it was lovely.
And of course a nice new bathroom and all that.
Aye. And a kitchen that was different for your living room. It wasn't a kitchen come living room, you know. It was a proper kitchen, and it looked out onto the back garden. And my dad got a big hut put up. You know, a big hut. We used to play with our dogs and all that. And
lovely.
It was good fun.
Because he used to have an allotment, didn't he, your dad, you were telling me?
Aye, my dad had an allotment just off the bottom of Easter Road.
And he had chickens as well, didn't he?
Aye, a hen run. I liked his hens, aye. He was always inclined to be like that, I think. My dad was always typical English. You know, my granny was a right wee English woman.
I remember you saying, yeah.
I don't know why she came to Edinburgh. But she came with the boys, and my Auntie Doris were quite young.
So did she come on her own with her husband?
Because he had been... Was it my dad? My dad's dad that got killed on the railway. Or my mother's dad. No, my mum didn't. Aye, my wee granny was English. They were young when she came up here, and she bought a big house over the bridge at Bridge Street. Down at Leith.
Yeah, I know.
And she rented, was it 2 of the rooms? There was that big room to the front. That room that was Uncle Will's. There was her bedroom. She rented 2 of the rooms there and 1 at the side, and then she still had a sort of kitchen come living room thing.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know, and her own bedroom was a good size, aye.
So she made a bit of money out of it.
Aye, that was her way of making the money.
Yeah.
But then she worked as well.
All right.
She worked in the Waverley station, in the ladies' attendant room. She was a lady attendant in the lavies.
So they were railway all through your family?
Oh, aye, they were all railway people. Mm-hmm.
Because that would have meant you got free travel, presumably, would it?
Oh, yeah, aye. Even to this day, though, like my niece and all that, they all still work on the railway.
Do they? Oh, that's good. Because your son did for a while, didn't he?
Aye, my son's a driver. You had nothing, but everybody had nothing. You know, we were all the same. And you couldn't just go and buy, like, sweets or anything, because everything was rationed. And my mum used to get parcels occasionally from, was it America? I don't know how that came about. But you always got, like, sweeties and lollipops and that in it. Oh, we had plenty of pals then.
Bet you did.
But it was really nice, you know.
So what was that, a relative in the States?
As I say, I don't know how that came about. Because I didn't really have any relatives. I don't know if it was maybe an organisation. I have no clue.
No, you were lucky anyway.
And there's nobody I can ask now. But I know we got parcels regular. Maybe like, when I say regular, maybe like one every 6 months or 4 months or something.
Well. God, they'd be exciting things to
And they always
receive.
had, as I say, nice sweets in it. You know, 1 or 2 novelties and that.
Hershey bars was the choice.
It was really the sweets that we couldn't get.
Yeah.
That was the nice thing about it all. Yeah, it was good.
That was episode 27 of the Seagrove Sessions. Memories and stories from members of North Edinburgh Dementia Care's Seagrove Centre. For more information about us and more episodes of the Seagrove Sessions, go to www.nedc.org.uk or follow us on Facebook, NEDC, the Seagrove Centre. Thanks again for listening. Catch you next time.